Some stories aren't meant to be heard, but once you know the truth, it will haunt you forever. Welcome to Black Box. Tonight, we uncover one of the darkest, most disturbing tales you've never forgotten. They say the mind can only endure so much, that after a certain point, something deep inside us breaks. Our reality distorts, the mind unravels, and what's left is not human. Tonight, we delve into the twisted legend of the Russian sleep experiment, a tale of horror so disturbing that many question whether it could ever be true. In the 1940s, during the height of Soviet Russia's secretive experiments, rumors began to circulate about an underground laboratory. This was no ordinary facility. Here, a group of Soviet researchers embarked on an experiment that would push the boundaries of the human psyche beyond the breaking point. 5 political prisoners were selected. Their crime? Opposing the regime. Their sentence? In exchange for their freedom, they would have to survive 15 days without sleep. Sounds simple, right? But there was a catch. They would be sealed inside an airtight chamber, exposed to a gas stimulant designed to keep them awake for longer than any human had ever endured. The promise of freedom dangled in front of them like bait, and the experiment began. The first few days went as expected. The prisoners, though uncomfortable, remained alert. Conversations flowed. They shared their thoughts, their fears, and their hopes for the future. The gas, they were told, was completely safe, a miracle of modern science. But something strange happened after the 3rd day. The prisoners began to show signs of paranoia. Their conversations grew more tense. Disagreements sparked over trivial matters. By the 4th day, they stopped speaking to one another entirely. Each man sat in his own corner of the chamber, silently watching the others, as if waiting for something to happen. On the 5th day, the first signs of madness appeared. One of the prisoners started screaming, a high-pitched, gut-wrenching wail that echoed throughout the chamber. The others didn't react. They simply watched him, their eyes hollow and cold. After hours of endless screaming, he seemed to shred his own vocal cords, his voice reduced to nothing more than a rasping whisper. And then, silence. Not a single sound from within the chamber. The researchers, unnerved but determined to continue, made an unsettling discovery. The prisoners had smeared pages from the books they'd been given with their own feces, plastering them over the observation windows. No one could see what was happening inside. For the next few days, nothing. No communication, no movement, just eerie, oppressive quiet. On the 10th day, the researchers made a decision. They announced over the intercom that the experiment was being terminated. The chamber would be opened, and all 5 prisoners would be freed. But the voice that answered wasn't one of relief. It was calm and cold. We no longer want to be freed. Terrified, the researchers pumped fresh air into the chamber, removing the gas. What they saw next would haunt them forever. The prisoners had turned into something unrecognizable. Their bodies were mutilated, their flesh torn from their own bones in horrifying ways. One prisoner had ripped out his own abdomen, exposing his internal organs, yet somehow he was still alive. They had become monsters of their own creation, driven to madness by sleep deprivation, or perhaps something much darker. Their eyes glistened with an otherworldly hunger. One whispered, barely audible, "We must remain awake." As the soldiers and researchers attempted to remove the subjects from the chamber, a violent struggle broke out. It took several soldiers to subdue each man, Yet even as their bones cracked and their skin was torn, the prisoners felt no pain. They begged, screamed for the stimulant gas to be turned back on, to remain awake forever. When questioned, one of the surviving subjects revealed something truly chilling. He spoke in a calm, almost hypnotic voice. "We are what you hide from in the dark, what you silence when you close your eyes. We are the madness that waits for you to sleep. We are you." In a moment of fear and panic, one of the researchers grabbed a gun, shooting the subject dead. As the man's body crumpled to the floor, a smile lingered on his lips. But the terror didn't end there. Whispers of the experiment spread far beyond the walls of that laboratory. The details were buried, covered up by the government, but the damage had been done. The line between reality and nightmare had been blurred forever. Was it simply a tale to scare, or did something far more sinister really take place? Perhaps we'll never know. But tonight, as you drift off to sleep, remember this: sleep is a fragile thing, and there are places in the dark corners of the mind where even nightmares fear to tread. Are you really sure you want to close your eyes? If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button and subscribe for more terrifying tales from the unknown. Until next time, keep the lights on.